Right, so I went to go see Sonic 3 yesterday, and oh my god, it's the greatest movie I've ever watched. Now, I'm gonna go over the story in a very bad way. Honestly, just watch the film if you don't want spoilers, because this is gonna contain a bunch of spoilers for the whole movie. Now, the film starts off with Shadow waking up after Gerald hacks into Gun's uh, computers, and he absolutely knocks out or kills just one of the two, all of the Gun soldiers. Now, after that, we cut to Sonic having a race with his friends, but it turns out they're holograms. Now, Sonic's happy he won, but also confused as to what's happening. So he backtracks and turns out they're celebrating his birthday, aka birthday, 1 year of them being on Earth. Now, they just enjoy a bit of time together and, you know, just chilling as a family. They're peaceful for a bit until a gun helicopter appears and asks them for Team Sonic's help. Now, they accept, and the scene from the trailer comes on where they are in a gun helicopter and they jump out of it and meet Shadow for the first time. Now, Shadow and Sonic are just like, hey, who are you and why do you look like me? For a little bit until they eventually get beat up. Now, after that whole thing, Shadow escapes and and Team Sonic meets up with Commander Walters from Gun to ask why Shadow is going after people. Now it turns out in this universe, Shadow was an alien from space, but he doesn't really remember anything. And basically a misfortune happened and Maria died and well, he locks up Shadow, which just is why? You caused this. And basically after that the robots appear from Dr. Eggman, but ooh, surprise, Dr. Eggman ain't controlling him. Basically, Agent Stone destroys them, leads them to Robotnik, who turns out he's let himself go, and in order to help Team Sonic, Eggman requires one of his quills, which is... Sonic instantly says, "You have a problem, man." And instantly after that, Robotnik just does what he did in the first movie, which is just like, yep, that's movie Robotnik for you. Now, after that, they team up and go to the gun area where Maria died. After a bit, they argue about whether they should split up or not, and Sonic splits them up into teams of three. Knuckles with nobody, Tails with Agent Stone, and Sonic and Eggman. Now, Knuckles gets caught by Shadow, as in getting scared, because, surprisingly, Knuckles is scared of ghosts. There was the whole scene with Casper, and he got scared, and no ghosts are nice, apparently. And, then it cuts to Tails and Agent Stone. They're getting along until Shadow appears and scares the hell out of both of them. And then Sonic and Eggman basically talk. And Eggman is just trauma dumping, which is beautiful. And in the end, they end up splitting up. Sonic gets gets absolutely caught off guard by Shadow, and Eggman meets with Gerald Robotnik, his uncle or granddad, I can't remember. And they have a little bonding time until, well, they don't yet, but Eggman is skeptical until, And then eventually, it turns out Team Sonic was all knocked out, including Agent Stone. And the two Eggman come in. They uh, wake up the rest of the crew, or well, they wake up themselves. Eggman says to Agent Stone, "Why are you tying yourself up? Do that in your own time." And after that, they leave, and Agent Stone goes with them. Shadow sets off a mini black hole. Luckily, they have rings from Tails, but Sonic does a trick shot and almost gets them killed. When they get back to their home, they ask Maddie and Tom for help with a secret mission. Now, they do this, and they need to get into gun headquarters. Now, they come up with a plan, and god damn, they show Sonic getting killed twice, which is honestly not the first time that's happened. Sonic 06 killed Sonic, so. Basically, if Sonic were to rush in, he'd get obliterated by the shield. If Sonic were to wait and they'd work as a team, eventually in the vault, if he rushed past, the lasers would cut him into pieces, which would then cut the pieces into tinier pieces. So, in the end, Tom and Maddie have to break into the building to put Tails' USB into it. Sonic is impatient, almost kills himself due to rushing in. When Sonic gets to the shield, Tails has to swing him and throw him in. When in, Sonic rushes up to where Gerald and Robotnik are, because they're also in it. And Shadow had previously gotten the keycard off of Sonic. Now, when they got there, turns out Robotnik and Eggman got put to the floor and Sonic got flown up in the air because of one of the people thinking that Sonic was also going to steal the keycard to do wrong things, which, no. No, he isn't. Stop assuming. From a singular picture. After that, Maddie and Tom are there, and they're all basically kind of in a sticky situation. Knuckles comes in as he's the backup plan. He ends up breaking the controller, which kept Sonic and Eggman and the Eggmen to the floor, which ends up creating chaos. Tom and Maddie and Tails almost die if it wasn't for Sonic getting a hold of himself and being able to spin dash the debris out of the way. Now, after that whole scene, they get away. Tom disguises himself as Commander Walters to get the key card. Now, when in the hole, Shadow randomly appears, knocks out Tom badly. Sonic goes insane. Now, the scene in the trailer where we all thought Tom was going to die, it does unfortunately not happen. He's just badly injured. But Sonic does not know this. He does not know whether Tom is going to survive or not. And Sonic is angry, like the angriest he's ever been in any media, apart from maybe, like, I don't know, the Archie or Fleetway comics. That's the only other times which I can think of he's been angry. So he basically fights with Knuckles about whether using the Master Emerald is the right thing. And Knuckles apparently just gives in really easily because he made an oath, and even though Sonic broke it, he's still going to stand by his side to trust him. Turns out this is where the Knuckles show comes in. Wade Whipple is guarding the Master Emerald and playing I think it was hockey, which he was playing with the Master Emerald, and I'm just like, why? Why do that? Now, after that, Sonic just quickly takes the emerald off of him and goes super in front of Wade, flies up. Turns out, only now Gerald's revealing his plan to destroy the Ark and all of the Earth Eggman is angry, and Sonic is flying up. Shadow fights him, and they go back down to Earth, basically, because Shadow knocks him down pretty easily. Now the Chaos Emerald comes flying. No, the Master Emeralds, 7 Chaos Emeralds come flying out of Sonic, and Shadow and Sonic fight for it until Shadow gets it, and Sonic gets it, so they both go super. It's a Super Sonic and Super Shadow boss fight, or just a really cool fight. Like, I'm not kidding, it was one of the best scenes. Now after that, Sonic, who is still really angry, is out for blood, and he defeats Super Shadow quite easily. And Shadow's saying for Sonic to finish the job, but the scene earlier in the movie with Tom, which we've already seen in the trailer, is just like snapped them out of it. And they have this nice talk on the moon, and they go super, and Live and Learn plays. Holy crap, it was. I got chills. They fight the robots, and eventually, when the Ark is about to explode, the two Geralds are like, well, it's not going to explode. When the Ark is going to destroy the planet and the Ark, Super Sonic and Super Shadow hold it off. Gerald and Robotnik are fighting. Now, after that whole thing, Tails comes in clutch to save Eggman, and Eggman throws Gerald into the zappy stuff. I don't know what it was. Probably electricity. And he goes out like a fly in a bug zapper. Now, after that, Tails and Eggman are trying to turn the Ark to somewhere else. Now, they do it, but they accidentally just exploded the moon. Turns out Sonic couldn't hold it any longer, and he falls to Earth. Tails goes and tries to help him with Knuckles throwing him out of the thing, but he passes out halfway through the air, so Knuckles has to do it. Now, the thing had stopped, but the Ark was going to explode because it is unstable. Now, Shadow pops in and tells Eggman to buy him enough time, and Eggman does that, and he gives his final message to Stone, and it's just nice. And then Eggman straight up dies with the Ark, and Shadow's still trying to save everyone. Sonic Team falls down to the ground with the ring, and they eventually have a good time, like, celebrating, well, pretty much whatever they were celebrating. They make a s'more, weird s'more, which I've never seen before. That rhymed unintentionally. Everyone's happy, and Tom is okay, just literally a sprain on his arm, which Shadow took out Gun Soldiers. Don't know how. But yeah, the credits roll, and Sonic got lost in a race, and electricity's behind him, and Metal Sonic's here. But it's not just one, it's loads of them, and somebody with a hammer comes in and destroys all of them, saving Sonic. And it's Amy Rose. She's here. Sonic has no clue who she is, which is reasonable. And there is another post-credit scene with Shadow getting his inhibitor ring back. Yeah, that's basically the whole movie. Honestly, I think the moment I realized this is probably my favorite movie was the Live and Learn fight with the whole Eggman robots, and it's just beautiful. Honestly, it's like a 10 out of 10 for me. The only thing which I think is slightly off is Maria's death for me, because instead of her getting shot, it is an accident, which I had a feeling they were going to do, and a lot of other people did, but it's still pretty good. Like, the gun soldiers try to shoot Maria, Well, trying to shoot Shadow probably, and Maria, I don't know. But they miss and it explodes Maria, killing her instantly, and Shadow gets put in stasis for 50 years, angry, and keeps replaying the memory. Also, there was an acoustic guitar version of Live and Learn at the beginning with Maria playing it, so yeah, that was pretty nice. Basically, yeah, just watch the movie if you haven't, and if you watched this, I don't know why, because you have possibly listened to the worst explanation of this movie that you could have found on YouTube. Yeah, that's basically the whole movie review off of what I can remember. I had to quickly check what the hell happened with after the whole first fight with Sonic and Shadow, with Team Sonic and Shadow, because I forgot. But yeah, the movie was pretty epic. Uh, Literally my favorite movie of all time. I seen it in cinemas, which was the first movie I've ever seen in the cinemas. So I don't know if it had a small part to do with it or not, but yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it whenever I can because holy crap, it's just epic. I also have a Sonic popcorn bucket and a Sonic soda thing with a shadow figure on. Unfortunately, I did not get the Sonic head bucket because it wasn't there. So yeah, movie's a 10 out of 10 in my books, and I'll see you whenever I see you. Also, in case you don't know, I'm now 16! So, next year, first thing which is first is, well, Susus Mogus with Lurs. That is unrelated to Sonic, but, you know,